I know this is probably going to sound very simplistic, but the prayer that is the motto of South Church, put us where you want us, show us what to do, is what I pray. I think, though, that underlying South's ability to make this transition, there is a peculiar marriage of people who are pragmatic, progressive, and prophetic.
I'm Gordon Rickner.
And I'm Stena Rickner. We've been married, it'll be 62 years in June.
And she lived just down the street from South Church, a little bit.
And he just lived down the street that way.
And when I was just
don't start on all the stories.
Well, I know, but it's how we got hooked up.
Yes.
You went to South Church, and I went to South Church, and we were dancing in the old basement, and one thing led to another. We're both singers, and singing is part of our life.
And I joined the church when I was 12, confirmation. And so we were both only children, and so it was our family. And we were just accepted with a lot of loving people. And there are so many memories. Of course, we were married there. Our kids were baptized there.
Got two boys.
Our kids were both married there in spite of the fact it wasn't the bride's church.
Yep.
And my mother was the organist for 35 years. We'd have several hundred people on a Sunday, and on Easter we had
two services.
So that was the beginning of the heyday of South Church. And then the Vietnam War happened and kind of tore us apart. We immediately lost many members, hundreds of people out of our church. We were then down maybe to 300, 250. People who just left because service wasn't doing it for them, and it was a steady decline from that point.
They seem to have, from the very beginning, been aware of the fact that we cannot continue to financially support what we're doing, and what we're doing is not working. And I think the other thing that's really important that South has to offer as part of the model is that it is an amazing partnership of the leadership of the church and the pastors.
We were so blessed with our session. Those people are brilliant. And they had to pray. They prayed about everything. They prayed and prayed and prayed.
And Deb encouraged them too.
Yes, they got some. There was some real wisdom there collectively.
Yeah.
That worked.
We were in deep trouble. I've seen the growth of a church designed like a bell-shaped curve, and we were curving at the bottom, which was frightening. When I was on the very first committee that talked about that, and even people in the committee said, leaving the building is not an option.
The session is the ruling body, and I think that an awful lot of our colleagues forget that. And they take the responsibility on themselves, and they take the blame on themselves, and they take the praise on themselves. And I will tell you right now that we are where we are because of the session of South Presbyterian Church.
We finally acknowledged that we are not donating our money, making our pledge to support a building, and that's where the majority of our money was going. It's a lovely building, holds memories for so many of us, but it does not honor the people who built this congregation to spend our money on the building and let the congregation die. And that was the bottom line.
we could no longer pay the bills and had to find a way to keep people together that wanted to be together.
I know that our church leaders are scared. Not every church is meant to survive all the time, and I will feel this way even if South has to close. I will know that we have done what we could do, and God has another plan, and that's okay. I don't live in the same house that I grew up in. I don't look at life like I did when I was in 6th grade. And our churches need to recognize that, because I think they're playing it safe. You know, Jesus didn't play it safe. The disciples didn't play it safe. I think that's really what the church should be about, is creating these environments where people can grow.
The big thing here is that Jesus didn't say, "Come to my church." He didn't say that. He presented the thing and he went out to the people. That's what we're doing now. And that's what makes me feel so good about everything, you know.
We have to make the decision sooner. And I think the board of the Presbyterian Foundation, they talk about a 3-year runway. And I think that's true. You've got to leave yourself 3 years where you can make these changes and build in the time to be successful.
You really have to look at your faith. You know, that's what this is all about, you know. This is why we go to church.
It's not about bricks.
It's not about bricks. It's not about mortar, you know. It doesn't mean anything about fixing this or fixing that. But do you believe, you know, in our Lord? For goodness sakes, if you didn't believe that, what are you going to do?
I love it. I have never been as excited or happy about anything. To people out there who are afraid to take risks, why not? Take a risk.
Oh, yeah.
Because the good old days, as I've said, are gone. They are not coming back. And for me, these are the good old days right now.
The legacy of South is that we come from a group of people who are willing to try something different.